Lorenzo Snow, 5th President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, prophesied, and he said, "As man now is, God once was. As God is now, man may be." Is this prophecy true, or is this a false prophecy? Was God ever a man? Was he ever a spirit being that had to take flesh, grow up as a man, and exalt into godhood? Did he ever have to follow that process? We read from Moroni, chapter 8, verse 18. "For I know that God is not a partial God, neither a changeable being. He is unchangeable from all eternity to all eternity." The God of Moroni was an unchangeable being from all eternity to all eternity. This God never had to go through manhood and exalt himself to become a god. The God of Moroni has always been God. The second part of Lorenzo Snow's statement, that man can become a god. Is it possible for a man to exalt himself into godhood? 2 Nephi chapter 24, verse 13. "For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." So here is a being that had a plan of exalting himself and becoming like God. Nephi prophesies and says in verse 15, "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and shall consider thee, and shall say, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?" So this great majestic being that pronounced that he would exalt himself, that he would ascend and become like God, Nephi says that he will be cast down to the pit, cast down to hell. Who is this great being that we speak of? 2 Nephi chapter 24 verse 12 tells us, "How thou art fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations." This great majestic being that wanted to become like God, Nephi prophesies that he would be cast down to hell, to the sides of the pit. This was Lucifer that attempted this. Lucifer, son of the morning, according to Nephi. So here is an example of President Snow's saying. There is an example of a man trying to become like God. It was Lucifer. He had great plans of ascending, of raising his throne. Yet Nephi prophesies and says he will be cast down to hell, to the sides of the pit. According to the Book of Mormon, we have to say that Lorenzo Snow's prophecy is a false prophecy. Moroni 8:18 says that God is an unchangeable being from all eternity to all eternity. God was never a man. God in the Book of Mormon was always God. And seeing the example of someone trying to exalt himself to become like God, Lucifer, son of the morning, great aspirations, and yet cast down to hell. So we would have to say that Lorenzo Snow's prophecy is a false prophecy about God and a false prophecy about man.